Die a Happy Man. All right. Song by Thomas Rhett, if I'm saying that correctly. I'm sure somebody will jump on and tell me if I'm incorrect on that. Some big fan. That's not how you say his name. And Nelly did a version of the song too, and it's a really interesting song. It's about how some guy basically, I'm guessing, had really bomb ass sex with some girl because he had a great night with her, and then says he's cool to die now because he's found love and he banged this girl, so he's happy, so he can just go ahead and die. Doesn't need to experience anything else in life. Just might as well kill him now. Okay, so what a wonderful song. That sounds a good, great song. Sounds freaking terrible. I'm Paul, Apex Mindset relationship coach and master NLP, EMDR, and hypnotherapist. What we're going to dive into today is the existential fear of loneliness, particularly growing old and dying alone. Okay, the lonely old man, theory that someone's going to be a miserable, lonely old guy or lonely old crazy woman in diapers with 5,000 cats, right? And this is a big fear for a lot of people. In fact, I had a friend of mine. He's a very alpha type guy, but just because you're an alpha, that doesn't mean you don't have fears, okay, ever. And he said one of his fears is that he gets into his old age and he's alone. He doesn't have anybody. That's not how he wants to experience life. That's a fear of his. So it really caused me to think about that and kind of look at, what's the framing I should have, when I show up to my relationships? Should that be a fear? Is it even a reasonable one? And I thought about it. What are my goals when I'm 80 years old? All right. Well, I look at this, I'm like, let me paint a different picture for you. All right. Other than I hope I'm with somebody or I'll be a miserable old bastard. Okay. When I'm 80, I would like to have enough resources where I don't have to answer to anybody. Okay. Basically, fuck you money. All right. Living in my small, easy to manage place that's nice and quality, but doesn't have to be too big. Off a lake somewhere because I like lakes. And I have my dog and I have my freedom. And I don't answer to a damn person. I have my happiness. I do whatever the fuck I want. If I want to go be social, I go be social. If I want to lock myself in my house for a week, I lock myself in my house for a week. If I want to day drink and kill a fifth of bourbon while I stare at the lake, great. If I want to hit the gym and then go, do some charity work, also great. I got nobody to answer to and I don't give a shit. That right there, to me, is the goal. That should be your goal. I want to look back. What is me dying happy? Me dying happy is being able to look back and seeing that I have accomplished a whole bunch of things. I've made my impact in the world, and I'm fucking happy in my peace and my quiet. That has nothing to do with the broad. Okay? That is what, for me, that's the dream. If you think about it and you reframe your mindset, that should be probably your dream too. And you can apply it the same if you're a woman. All right. Maybe you're in the lake house with your cat. Okay. But not it's that should be the goal, right? That sounds amazing. I'm not gonna tell you what you should or shouldn't do, but here, let me say to you this is that your existential fears and your underlying beliefs frame your behavior, your mindset, and your thoughts. So, what does that do for me now when I approach my relationships today? Well, if I'm not fearful of loneliness and fearful of dying alone, that means I don't put up with a lot of bullshit, right? That means I'm not putting up with lower standards. I'm not accepting things, behavior towards me that are unacceptable. I'm not in a relationship that's miserable and unhappy because of my fear of loneliness or growing old and being alone. I'm not attaching myself to people in an unhealthy manner. So, where does that leave me? Well, if the chick that I'm with is with me when I'm 80, well, that says a lot about that chick, then, doesn't it? If she's willing to get me to abandon my dreams of peace, drama free happiness, to be there with me by my side, she must really be a compliment to my life then. She must really be someone that I am better off with than without, you see. That that's how you frame your mindset. When you show up in a relationship with that framing, you bring a lot of strength and stability to that relationship. So, yeah, I'll die happy when I have looked backwards and made my impact on the world, and I have my peace and my happiness. That's independent of who's next to me. Subscribe to my channel, please. I forgot to say that in the beginning. So slide your finger over, hit the subscribe button. If you need coaching or additional help, hit me up private message and we can set up a time. Thanks again for listening and thanks for your support.